Hello everyone, hello from my kitchen table. This is the second Harriette Walters case based on chapter 13. It is more difficult than the first one. The first requirement, I want the total of all the January amounts, total of all the February amounts, all the way through to the total of all the December amounts. And I want it set out as a nice graph. One way to start would be to do month, and I can go equals month, point to the date, close the brackets, and this tells me that this transaction was in the 6th month, and this one was in the 10th month, and so on. I copied it down by getting that plus sign there, and a swift left double click. Just a quick check. At the bottom, I do go to the bottom, row 240, the 8th month, it is good. I can now do a pivot table and get the total per month. That is a little bit messy. So I'm going to go and still do a pivot table, insert pivot table. It's got the correct range, I can see. And I'm going to put date over here, and I'm going to put amount over there. Now, I don't want the total per year, remove it. I don't want the total per quarter, remove it. What I do want is what I have there, the total per month, total per month. Now, it's easier to do a graph if I pull this data out of the pivot table. Watch this, equals A4, it's got that, equals B4, it's got that. Don't worry about the formatting, it'll graph it correctly. Here we go. Now, I'm going to take this and I'm going to create a nice bar graph. Insert. There we go. And these bars look a bit skinny to me, and the way I like to work it is to send it outside, move chart to a new sheet, and we can just do monthly totals, not monthly totals, and we'll do OK. Now I'll just make it a little smaller. Here we go. Now, let's fix this bit up here. I don't really want 1 to 12. I want January to Dec. Right click, select data, horizontal axis labels, edit. And I really want the data here. And we'll do OK. And we'll do OK. And now I actually have Jan to Dec on the x-axis. And we just need to tidy this up a bit here. We'll go monthly totals. And that really is small and difficult to read, so we're going to go home. I'll make it 16, and we'll make it a little bold. Why not? We're exciting accountants. And I have that there. Over here, this looks a little bland as well. And we will do format axis. And we will go number. And I'm going to scroll down a bit here. It's not general, but it is currency with 0 after the decimal place. And I'm good to go here. And so I have what I want there. But this is a bit small, hard to read. I'm going to go up here, home, and we'll change it to at least a 12 and bold. And over here, I'm highlighting the labels there. I'm going to go home, and I'm going to go 12, and why not make it bold as well? Now, I'm going to leave it up to you to put an axis heading over here, and an axis heading over here. And right offhand, I actually forget how to do it, but there should be plenty of help on Microsoft's website, just say add labels to x-axis or y-axis, and we should be good. Although this looks a little skinny over here, so I'm going to go there, do a right click, and do Format Data Series, move across to here, move to gap width, and let's bring this gap width all the way down to 100. Sorry about the wait. There we go. 100. And we're good. Much nicer looking. And you can see I just need the label over there. The label over there, over here could be month, total amount. And requirement 1 is good. Number 2, did we expect a seasonal pattern in the data? You know, I can see here that December was high. And if December wasn't high, but December was somewhere between there and there would be a nice seasonal pattern. It would show an increasing trend up until the mid part of the year, then a bit of a hiccup there, and then a decreasing trend to the end. But it doesn't do that. The seasonal pattern is not great. And so the answer for number 2 is that you didn't expect a seasonal pattern. Then that is also because you went and read this case over here. This is the Catherine Harrell case. This is in chapter 11. And this is where I actually go and try and see whether there's a seasonal pattern to her fraud numbers. This mean absolute percentage error there of 44 means Minitab really struggled to find a seasonal pattern. And right at the end there, it would be unusual if a fraud scheme showed a stable seasonal pattern, and I think this is a general fact. It would be unusual if a fraud scheme showed a stable seasonal pattern, and a seasonal pattern is one that shows a rise and a decline over certain months of the year. Something like heating oil, we would have high usage in winter and low usage in summer, and it would be a reasonably predictable pattern over there. Number 1 and 2, done. Number 3, getting a little tricky here. Now, if you remember, if we actually go to the chapter, and in the chapter we have Harriette Walters, and we have, don't mean to make you dizzy here again, we have this table here. And this table shows that she duplicated 14 amounts. That amount was used twice, and those were the 2 dates on which it was used. I want you to go to the data and do a new table. The first date, the second date, and the amount that was duplicated. So, each duplication is shown on one row over here. First date, second date, and the amount. The amount is obviously the same. That's why that's how duplication works. So, over here, there are 14 duplications. I have all the data, but it's on 28 lines. Each duplication is on 2 rows. Now I want one row. The amount, first date, second date. Let's go, and let's get busy over here. Now back to the data. I'm going to take this, leave this amount in here. And now, the only way I can do this is if I sort the data from smallest to largest so that the duplications are next to each other. If I don't do that, my whole little scheme here won't work. So, I'm going to go right click. I'm going to do sort, but I'm going to do a custom sort. I am first going to sort by amount, smallest to largest, add a level, then by date, oldest to newest. Now, all my duplications are next to each other. So, we will go here, one of my favorite words, indicator. And I'm going to go and put an indicator here to indicate whether it's a duplicate or not. Watch the logic. Equals if this amount is equal to that amount, then I have a duplicate, comma 1. If they're not equal, just put a 0 there, comma 0, enter. Now, I'm going to copy this down and watch. It's looking whether this is equal to that, all the way down, and it will identify my first duplicate quite accurately here. There it says there's a 1. This amount is equal to that amount. Now, it's got it right. I'm going to change this from date to first date. And I'm going to insert a column here, right-click, insert. And here is the second date. And now, the second date is there. I don't want to pull all the second dates up. I just want to pull them up when I have a duplication. So watch what we're going to do here. Equals if that equals 1, comma, then go and pull this date up. Otherwise, don't pull anything up. And the way we'll do a blank is 2 quotes. Watch this. The quote there, just like you would see if somebody was speaking and you were reading a book. And the other quote, when they finish speaking and you were reading a book with the sentence in it. Close the brackets. There we go. Copy the plus sign, swift left, double click all the way down, and let's see whether we have what we want. Here's the first duplication. That's the amount. Here's the first date. That was it. And it's pulled up the second date over there. Now, both of these formulas are predicated on how the data is sorted. So I need to go copy, paste special, and values is right over there. Copy, paste special, values there. Now I can resort it, and these amounts will stay the same. So the way I want to sort it now is I want to go data sort, because we have instructions on how to sort, custom sort. I first want to sort by indicator, largest to smallest, get all the ones at the top. Then I want to sort by amount, because we were told that as well, from smallest to largest. This should be good. Indicator, largest to smallest, all the matches at the top. Amount, smallest to largest, that was also included in the instruction. Okay. And here we go. This, people, let's just make that nice and centered. Keep everything neat. This is my answer. I have the first date, the second date, and the amount. I have the 14 duplications. They are there. And let's go have a look. Quick squiz. Number 3 is good. Number 4. Read the round numbers, a fingerprint of fraud article. Excellent article. Well worth a good read. So that is the answer to number 3. And you're just going to have to show that as a table. You can do a screenshot of that. Don't highlight it. Just do the screenshot like this. And life will be good. Now, I want the round numbers. And so what we will do is we can go and do a new indicator here, round. So I'm now doing number 5, identify the round numbers. If we actually go to the article, the round numbers, this is the Harriette scheme, is shown on page 38, I think. And here we have a little section showing how to run the formulas, and this is the Harriette Walters data. So this is the formula that will work. This is the exact same data set, but we can't Let's see if our amount is still in column D, and we're going to use this formula here. The amount is moved to E because I inserted that column here, but we should still be able to do quite well. So I'm going to go equal if. And the function I'm going to use is mod. Mod means remainder. Go to amount, which is in E2, and divide it by, comma, 1000. This is how this function works. So if I take the amount in E2 and I divide it by 100, and that answer is equal to 0, then I have a round number. So if I take the number in E2, divide it by 1000, and if the remainder is equal to 0, then I have a round number. So how about we go comma 1, it's round, otherwise comma 0 if it's not round. So it's telling me the first one is not round. I'm going to go here, copy this all the way down, just check that the formula does go all the way to the bottom. It does. And so now, let's see what I wanted again. Even I forgot. Identify the round. I want a screenshot of the table of 24 round numbers, payee, date, and amount. So let's sort this. And because it's only looking across, it doesn't. Don't have to copy and paste. Data, sort, and we will go sort. And I need a custom sort. I need a custom sort, and what I want is sort by round, largest to smallest, and that means I get, and sort the results by dollar amount descending, so amount largest to smallest. This should work. There we go. So I have the largest amount up there, it's round, and now I really just wanted payee, date, and amount. Payee, date, which is first date, and amount. So I'm actually going to go and say goodbye to second date here, delete, payee, and we'll change this first date back to date, enter. And now this is a little check. I said that there were 24, and that is correct. I go to row 25, but I have the headers over there. So I do have, and indeed, identify the round sort, a screenshot of that, not with it highlighted. Take the cursor right out. A screenshot of that zone over there will give me all around numbers. Sorry, there we go. Those are Harriette's round numbers. Now, number 6, just for a little bit of excitement at the end again. Calculate the round numbers percentage. There it is, 2 parts after the decimal place. So, I can do it over here. I can do my round number percent. And I can do it quite cleverly, because every round number has got a 1 in here. So I can go percent equal sum G2 to G240. See, the round numbers have got 1s and the others have got 0s. So however many round numbers I have equals the sum. And I can divide this by the count of G2 to G240. And I've got to run this now. There we go. But I didn't want it like that. I wanted it as a percentage. Right click. Format cells as a percentage. 2 decimal places. Look at that. The answer, 10.04%. And this is quite amazing. 10.04% of the numbers were multiples of 1,000, and we should have expected multiples of 1,000 to be extremely rare or non-existent. That is the end of the case. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy doing it too. And so, from me to you, it's bye-bye.